marketing is my passion as well as my purpose in life. And the rest of it, you've already gone through. I'll briefly tell you about the problems we are trying to address through the sales mentoring community. The fact that there are very few women in sales itself is a problem. The fact that very few women choose to enter sales, again, is problem 2. And problem 3 is even as business owners or entrepreneurs, women shy away from selling. And that is why this community, which is based on the 3 pillars of MEN, mentoring, experiential learning, and networking for success. And that's the way we prepare women to lead with confidence. It's India's first and only sales-focused community for women. Okay, so without further delay, let's straight away dive into the reason we are all here today. And all of us want leads, but expectation is that your leads will take off like a rocket. But reality is this, Belgadi. So how do we go from Belgadi to the rocket? Hopefully by the end of this session, all of you will understand how your leads and your lead engine can take off like a rocket. So first thing, which I would like to talk about is, I think all of you are aware, what is a lead or a prospect? Anybody with an interest in what you are selling. But we just can't leave the lead like that. We need to qualify them. So who is a qualified prospect? I remember Sagar during his talk was asking about companies. And there I feel that qualifying his prospective customer in terms of an ICP, ideal customer profile, would really help him out. So who is a qualified prospect? Somebody who fits into your ICP. So you have a clear ICP and see that your prospect fits into it. He has a clear problem or need which your product can address. Hopefully the best in the market. And clearly there is a benefit that you can provide, which is different from what the rest of the competition in the market is providing. That's another thing which I observed when Sagar spoke. That is the ICP. And the second thing is a clear benefit. Why should I go with you? So once we have these 3 reasons, the ICP, the problem, and the benefit, we know that it is a qualified prospect. We can go forward. 3 levels at which we can qualify prospects. One is at the organization level, second is at the opportunity level itself, and third, stakeholder. All of us know that in B2B, there are at least 11 decision makers. So apart from qualifying at an organization level, what is a turnover, number of employees, what are the kind of profits, what is the kind of industries in which the organization should be. We also need to qualify at a decision maker, influencer, gatekeeper level. Who are these people who are responsible for influencing the purchase decision? And at an opportunity level, if we are talking about qualifying the prospect, it is in terms of what I already mentioned earlier, ICP, problem, and benefit. So there should be a clear need, and the person should have the authority to decide, and the person should have the ability to pay. So as Philip Kotler says, a customer is someone who has both the ability and willingness. So ability without willingness and willingness without ability, both are incomplete. So you can't be a qualified prospect. We will take all questions in the end, and please note down so that, in the interest of time. So very quickly, I will tell you about the various ways in which you can get leads. Inbound leads are those who initiate contact with you. And we all hope pray that we will get inbound leads, referrals from our website, blogs. But in reality, it is not like that. We do have to make an effort. And that is where outbound comes in. And today we are going to talk about outbounds with specific reference to social media. And I will also tell you why, LinkedIn and Instagram. So these are obvious. What are your inbound and what are your outbound? Amongst inbound, referrals are the most powerful source with at least 50 to 70% conversion rates. So that's something we have to keep in mind. In outbound, cold calling, email, bulk, SMS, WhatsApp, social media selling, and events or trade shows. Now, again, one observation which I had is a lot of you are present on LinkedIn, but your profiles are not optimized or complete, and you're not posting also. I have made certain notes which we can talk about when we address the questions. But one important element of social media selling is obviously to be present and post regularly on the social media, which we choose to reach our target audience. So these 3, cold calling, email, and social media, is what we're going to focus on today. What is cold calling? Reaching out to a prospect without any prior contact. Most often through a telephone call. And the reason she's holding her head here is because I think all of us get a headache when we think of calling on a cold database. And the word also cold makes us feel really afraid. So the first thing here is have a specific schedule for calling, specific time, and make sure it's convenient for the customer. Often you have the credit card, personal loan, all these guys calling you at 1:30 in the afternoon, 2 o'clock. You're either having lunch or trying to, relax after lunch, and then these people are calling. So have a timing, have a schedule, have a script, be prepared, but don't sound like it's a canned speech. Keep it very simple. You may have often only 30 seconds to attract the attention, and therefore an attention grabbing hook or a question or a startling statistic about the industry will definitely help. Practice before you call. Do research on the prospect before you call them, and that's the most important part. Very often people call me and then say that, okay, we are here to develop the website, and would you like me to design and develop your website? And they haven't even made the effort to see that I already have a website. So when people call you like that, definitely it's not going to go forward. One thing is that a lot of us, when the phone is banged down on us, we get demotivated and we fear calling again. 75% of the people will do that, which means that we only have to keep at it. Consistency, regularity is what helps here, and ask open-ended questions. For example, I call up saying that I'm an RO purifier salesperson, for example, and I call up saying that, do you have an RO purifier at home? Yes. I don't know how to proceed further because they already have my product. Or do you require an RO purifier? No. So there's no, when we ask close-ended questions, there's no opportunity to go forward. And at the end of the call, our objective should always be to set the next action steps. What are we going to do next? Meeting, virtual demo. What is the next step? The second, and the reason I'm going fast with these two is our primary focus is on social media. So I'm going really fast on these two, which is on email. Again, personalize. The more we personalize, the more the open rates are increased. Use their first name, use an attention grabbing hook. Always use either refer to a mutual connection or refer to the person who has told you to connect with them. Asking a question, for example, one of my favorite questions is, kya aapke toothpaste mein namak hai? I'm sure all of you have seen the Colgate ad in which the person says that. So use a startling statistic. And do you know that your salespeople are spending only 35% of their time selling or in direct interface with the customer? Use a question or refer to a pain point or create a knowledge gap. That, do you know that CRMs are only 20% effective, and we have a CRM which can help to increase your productivity by, say, 50%. So for example, these questions or talking about something which will create curiosity in their minds, like I talked about the namak, all these are ways in which you get the interest. There is also a subject line which we can personalize, and there's a pretext which shows. And therefore, the first few sentences are really, really important. The rest of it can follow your first question, which could either be a statistic, a question, a knowledge gap, or something which arouses curiosity. And the CTA at the end. Always there has to be an action step that if this sounds interesting, then let's meet on so-and-so date, give 2 or 3 slots so that the person has the flexibility to decide. Or why don't we catch up over a chat on Zoom, etc. Make next steps and next actions very, very clear. Video is processed 60,000 times faster than text. A lot of people don't use videos in emails, but I think that is the most effective. And that's called a video sales letter. That's something which can be used very effectively. We already talked about kya aapki toothpaste mein namak, right? So this is the question, just highlighting that. Now we come to the main point of this presentation. Why LinkedIn and why Insta? And why do we need to use social media to sell? And most people think social media is only social media marketing. It's not actually the best way to look at it. Social media is definitely a channel through which we can reach out for selling, for leads, for engagement, and for connect. 80% of those who are engaged in social selling are outselling their peers. And they are more likely to achieve quotas, and 50% of the traffic which is coming to B2B websites is from LinkedIn, and that's how important LinkedIn is. To tell you very quickly, Insta has 1.3 billion users. LinkedIn has lower number of users, 875 million, but the number of decision makers and the number of companies on LinkedIn are much higher. The average income of the LinkedIn users is greater than $75,000, and maximum amount of decision makers are present on LinkedIn. Mostly senior executives in the age group of 35 to 65. The visit to lead conversion rate, that is, if I visit your website after from LinkedIn, the visit to lead conversion rates is 4 times that of Facebook. So that is how effective LinkedIn is. Not to say that Instagram is not effective, depends on your product. If they are highly visual products, auto, fashion, beauty, travel, younger users, then of course, definitely Instagram is effective. Out of the 1.3 billion users, at least 20% visit at least one business profile every single day. This is more about how I've built my community on LinkedIn. My personal brand has grown 12x over the last just about over a year. And that's how it has helped me. All my members are organically from LinkedIn. No spending on ads, no spending on any other promos. Now, what I was talking about earlier, how do you start? There's always a starting problem on LinkedIn. And I think the first place to start is by understanding who is your ideal customer profile, and as specific as possible. Most of us go into demographics. That is, we look at age, income, marital status, gender, location, and so on. Location is now not important at all because now it's a global world. But more importantly, it is to understand the psychographics, which is what I call VABA. That is values, attitudes, beliefs, and aspirations. So what is it that they like? What is it that they dislike? And from LinkedIn itself, you can get a lot of information about them by seeing what do they volunteer for? What are the causes they are associated with? Which school or college did they go to? Whom are they following? Then you know the people they admire. What kind of posts do they like? What kind of content are they consuming? And so on. So there's a lot of information you can get from secondary data sources like their websites, of course, and their social media presence. So once you understand and make it as clear as possible who is your ICP, you will know how to optimize your social media profile in order to appeal to them. And the way to do so is by telling them how you can help them. I think very few of you said, how can you help people? Right? Because we have to make it about them and not about us. A lot of people hide behind the title, designation, I'm founder, CEO, vice president, so on. That is simply stating facts, which they can see in your work experience if they're interested enough. The first few, that is your tagline, is the most important, and that should be more about them. And the reason I'm putting this lady, not because she's paying me to promote her, but she's a dear friend of mine again, Suma Nagoda. And the reason I'm putting this here is because she's used all the possible hooks in her tagline. For example, TEDx speaker immediately establishes her credibility. LinkedIn strategist. So she's telling us what she does, and she's also talking about how she can help you. Sagar had said, what is in it for you? And that's the most important thing here, that she helps. And her TA is also very clear. Her target is also very clear, that she is only helping women. Now, for what reason, that we won't go into. Helping women professionals, entrepreneurs, students to build their personal brand and maximize their visibility. So she's talking about the challenge which they are facing, how she can help them, all in one sentence here. We have to understand what is our business's unique value proposition, because again and again, the same question we will get: how do you differentiate from competition? How are you different? And why should I come to you? In terms of messaging and brand voice, we need to be consistent, which I already mentioned. We need to be visible and we need to be authentic, because constantly changing what you stand for confuses people. So send the same message out, which is CVA. There are only about 3 million users on LinkedIn out of the 875 million who post regularly, at least twice a week, which is less than 1%. And that means the minute we start posting 3 or 4 times a week, we automatically stand out. Only 1 million are publishing newsletters on LinkedIn regularly, which means that once we do a newsletter, again, we get an opportunity to stand out. And when they see you, they will know you. And when they know you, they will start slowly, after consuming your content, liking you and trusting you. So sales is all about the know, like, trust cycle. If they don't know you exist because you don't post and don't show them who you are, how will they start liking or trusting you? And focus on networking for maximum impact, which means choose your social media carefully. 2 or 3 max, which will appeal, where your target audience is present. For example, I'm selling a beauty product, just imagine, which is anti-aging. So I know that I should target the 40 plus women, 40 to 60. Probably they are more available on Instagram. And my product is highly visible because it's an anti-aging cream, and I can demonstrate that to before, after, showcase my showcase my social proof on Insta and so on. So the clearer my ICP is, the more targeted my outreach is. This I already mentioned, the 4 W's and 2 H. Who are my customers? Where are they in terms of social media? How do I reach them? Who are the decision makers or influencers in a B2B corporate? Who can help me reach them? That is the influencer or gatekeeper too. And how can my product make their life better? So if I can't say this in one sentence of not more than 10 or 12 words, how can I help you? The prospect is likely to lose interest. Now, one very important part, I will not get into all of these, One very important part of this is to understand your why of being on LinkedIn or on any social media, because we could be there for different reasons. Some are there just to grow their followers and to be seen as influencers and start getting influencer campaigns. Some are there to get leads. Some are there to get collabs, investors, partnerships. Some are there to simply get a job. And that's how, when you decide on your why and you know your objective of being on a particular social medium, you're able to optimize your profile to reach out to your target audience, which could be prospective employers or prospective customers or investors or whoever. And your about should be about what you can do. Most people, again, only talk about themselves, that I've spent X years here and I've spent Y years here and so on. But it should be more like a story showing a personal side to you and why you're doing what you're doing and how you can help them. If you are a podcaster, if you regularly take part in, you're interviewed and you are a guest on many shows, definitely put in some of those videos under featured and add those links. It improves your credibility and positions you as a thought leader. A CTA in LinkedIn or any or on Instagram is extremely important under your name, right? You can always add a CTA, which could be either book a demo or a free call with me or so on, or even visit the website could be a CTA. Not many people do that. Not many people do the video, the 30-second video under your name. If you see the circle under your name, you can add a 30-second video which talks about you and your work. And groups. A lot of people join groups without thinking, but groups are places where you can showcase your content and also get information on the challenges which your industry, your target industry is facing. Video I talked about. These people I will go into in the end. These are some which I wanted to show you when someone talks about their LinkedIn profile. We'll go to that. I already spoke about this, that we should be clear what our brands stand for. And here, one brand which comes to my mind is Maruti, because they are very, very clear, right? Right from their positioning to their differentiation. Their differentiation is what? That they are indigenously produced, which allows them to price their cars reasonably, very low. And second is their vast network of dealers, more than 4,000, which allows them to provide quick and reliable servicing. This is their differentiation, which is internal to the company, and they've translated it into a unique value proposition for the customer, that I am a value for money car, which provides quick and reliable servicing. So this positioning and this UVP is all over on their website, in all their communication and brochures, that we are a value for money car, which provides quick and reliable servicing. And this is possible only because of their differentiated strength. So we must think about our brands in the same way. What is our strength? What do we stand for? And what unique value can we provide? That strength should lead to the value. Strength is internal, value is external. That is what we provide the customer. And how can we change the client's life with that? How does their life become better? I had a lot of ideas when Sagar was talking. In fact, a lot of ways in which he can tell clients how he can make their lives better. So this is SSSUR, just to make it easier for you to remember what you stand for, what's your strength, what's your story, what's your unique value proposition, and how can you change your client's reality. I have already talked about social currency, talked about offer something more, which is, a lot of people say we can't give away something free. We are giving away too much, who will come to us and so on. But I think the more content you share, the more you get. Reciprocity will know that better than anybody else, because I know that you believe in giving rather than asking first without giving. The more you give, the more you get. Videos get 3x more engagement. So always make sure that you post videos or reels on Insta. Stories on Insta do well. Anything which is preachy, teachy, professorish doesn't do well. Idea is to entertain, provide fun, new insights, perspectives, give value, but not in an entertaining way, not in a preachy, teachy way. Hashtags are important, which people don't really pay attention to. One simple rule is not more than 5 or 6. People intersperse their posts with so many hashtags, and it's really, really distracting. Not more than 5 or 6, 2 specific hashtags, and 2 or 3 broad hashtags. For me, I could give you an example. My broad hashtag is always sales. The specific ones could be with respect to the workshop or event. If I'm doing a workshop on, say, emotional resilience and so on. So those could be the specific hashtags. One thing which people fail to leverage on is industry groups, and they join groups of people or professionals who are in their field. in their industry. Actually, they are your competitors. For example, I'm a coach, I join a coaching group. I am an HR professional, I join an HR group. And that's not where we are going to understand the prospective customers' pain points or be able to have value propositions which are personalized and hyper-targeted. So better to join groups where your TA exists and where they are. For example, I have joined groups of HR professionals because when I go for B2B leads, I need to speak with the HR or LNO professionals. Always mentioning a common point or referring to a friend or talking about one of their posts helps you break the ice. Most people are lazy likers on LinkedIn, like. I think you need to think about and engage with at least 10 or 15 posts in a day to really see that I spend 1 hour or 2 hours every day on LinkedIn. And that's the kind of time and effort I give there. Up to you, of course, how much time you can give. And start your outreach immediately after connecting and move from liking, engaging, commenting on their post to setting up a Zoom or virtual or personal meeting within 15-20 days, because otherwise they forget who you are. We're coming to the last part soon. Just let me know how much time we have so I can. Kanchan? Anyone? Sankalp?
5 minutes.
I didn't get you, sorry.
5 minutes.
Okay, great. So we're coming to the last part, that how do I know that my efforts is 1 or 2 hours, my sending connections, my engaging, my blogging, all of this is having effect. You've got it right when you're getting more connection requests, you're getting all your leads through your social medium, you're receiving more incoming messages. So my DM messages on LinkedIn are similar to my WhatsApp. That's how many messages now I'm getting. Your opinion, you're tagged, your opinion is sought. Your prospective clients start tagging you and commenting, liking, sharing. All your speaker podcast invites are coming from your social media. And competitor analytics is something which is very, very interesting on LinkedIn, which is available for the corporate page, where you can see the visitors to your website, from where are they approaching your website, mobile or a desktop. What is the kind of industry they belong to, which pages they are spending more time on. All this comes under competitor analysis. You can also see your followers, that is which industry they are from, and growth in followers. You have competitor analysis, and that is something which is very important in terms of planning your content, right? Because you can see which posts of your competitors are going viral, what are the hashtags they are using, who amongst their followers are engaging with them. Ultimately, their followers are your target audience, and it also gives you content ideas. So it gives you content ideas from their posts which are doing well. B, it gives you an idea about your performance vis-a-vis them. And C, it also gives you a chance to connect with their followers, because you see the people who are very, very engaged. Of course, it's a 50-50 chance that if they are engaged, they may or may not engage with you. But definitely it's worth a try, especially if you have a hyper personalized proposition. For example, my competitors are Aspire, For Her, and Leap, and they are more general communities which talk about women, sales, leadership, personal, work life, well-being, and a lot of things. I'm a sales focused community, so I'm 100% sure that those will be interested in this community too, and I do engage with them on the competitors posts. It goes without saying that we need to post and we need to plan our posts. A lot of people are intuitive posters, which is what I did in the beginning, but now I don't. I spend 1 hour every Sunday morning trying to, of course, thanking each and everyone who's connected with me during the week with a personalized message, which is important. That is what I spend Sunday mornings on doing. And second is planning my content for the week. I have a content calendar and specific things I do every day of the week, so that your target audience also knows what to expect from you. Every Wednesday is quotes and so on. Use your about to tell your story and showcase your expertise. Lives work very well on LinkedIn, and they help you to position as a thought leader. Their reach is also much, much higher. Your in-mail, LinkedIn Premium is worth it. A lot of people ask whether it is worth it or not. You get in-mail credits, which are not possible in the normal LinkedIn plan. So I would say definitely it's worth it because it helps in personalized outreach. Also, following influencers, commenting on their posts, or also sometimes judiciously tagging them on your post helps to increase the reach and engagement of your own posts. One of my posts, I remember Ankur Wari, who had commented on it, and it became viral. So many times, tagging is again a double-edged sword, but tag judiciously. And I'm sure Sagar must be laughing because I can't say the word judicious. Okay. and find ways to help your target audience, because when you help people get what they want, you definitely can get what you want. Creator mode is something, anybody, just raise your hands, who all are in creator mode here? I can see Saloni. Anyone else? No. So creator mode is very interesting because it gives you access to lives, audios, newsletter, and a lot of other things. Secondly, it also helps you to add what you talk about in the hashtags, and it gives you analytics, which it doesn't give otherwise. Showcase page is more for the corporate handle. And one interesting part of LinkedIn is that even if you don't have InMail or premium, if you are part of an event, you can send personalized messages on DM to all the event participants. So attend and register for as many events. Even if you can't attend, register. So you can send messages to the participants. And again, attend events in which your TA is interested. Video and audio messages are interesting. I do send a lot of audio. It saves time on LinkedIn. Video meetings setting up on LinkedIn saves time again. No separate links for Zoom, etc. Services page is something which I've discovered recently, and inviting people, I've invited Saloni to, in fact, to review your ratings is another way of showcasing your expertise and your social proof where people have rated you. I've received only 2 up till now. Thankfully, they are both 5-star ratings. I already mentioned this. This is the philosophy with which I approach sales. Sales is derived from a Scandinavian word. To sell means to serve. And if you believe that you're here to serve, to help others, to make a difference, then you can have everything in life you want. Because as per Zig Ziglar, which I follow, you can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough people get what they want. This is all I have to say. And if we want to get into specific LinkedIn profiles, we will do so once we have it.